because they believe the way to drive people to the polls is by scaring them. They're lying to women all over America saying that they can't have an abortion anymore, which that's a lie. There's plenty of places that women can easily get an abortion. They're lying to gay Americans saying that Republicans are trying to take away gay marriage when that's not something. I haven't even seen a bill that says anything like that.
That's a little throwback for you to earlier this week. Marjorie Greene assuring everyone, don't freak out, don't turn against the Republican Party. We don't want to take away your abortion rights. I mean, it's only the position that I hold as Marjorie Greene. It's only the thing that our movement has been trying to do for 50 years. We just killed Roe v. Wade, and we're definitely going to try to go further than that. But don't turn against us. So that's what she's saying. And honestly, politically, it's pretty savvy for her to be willing to be so dishonest about what she wants the government to do to save the electoral prospects of the Republicans. And that is why I love that virtually every other Republican across the country is trying to make a fool out of her. So she says that, and then what happens? Marco Rubio, sitting senator, announces he's going to be co-sponsoring Graham's federal abortion ban. So Rubio, he was a presidential contender. He could be in the future. He thinks the future of the Republican Party is a national ban on abortion, but not just the sitting senators. Herschel Walker says he's all in on a federal abortion ban. And he says, by the way, I believe the issue should be decided at the state level, but I would support this policy. Now, Herschel Walker, of course, is deranged. And so that means that he can be a little bit more accidentally honest than most of the Republicans. He just said the whole thing right there. I believe it should be a state issue if it needs to be, and I believe it should be a federal issue if it can be. That's all it is. Wherever we can ban it, we will ban it. By the way, Walker, he goes beyond even the others. He doesn't he wants a full abortion ban with no exceptions, not for rape, not for incest, not even to save a pregnant person's life. Like literally, he would prefer that you die in the hospital. It's amazing. Sorry, Marjorie Greene, that's your candidate. And of course, we wake up to the news that a near total abortion ban has taken effect in Indiana. And that, of course, follows the fact that just yesterday, West Virginia became the second state to pass a strict abortion ban post-Roe. So if your job is to try to convince us that the Republican Party doesn't want to ban abortion, you better hope that we are not watching the news or listening to anything that's going on. Nina, what do you make of all this?
Yeah, she's out of touch, and they need to come and get her, John. I mean, seriously.
I don't think they want it.
Please. Why make us suffer? No, the Republicans are showing their true colors here. They've been planning this for a very long time. This didn't happen by accident. This didn't happen overnight. And what I mean by this, I mean the overturning of Roe v. Wade. And so it would be nice if, in fact, the Democratic Party would work to expand the Supreme Court, because it's not just abortion. We have a whole host of issues that impact our representative democracy that will be in peril because of this conservative, out of touch Supreme Court. And the Congress and the president have it within their power right now. Let's not wait till November, because we don't know what's going to happen in November. We know what the polls are saying. I know we're going to talk about that later, but power is to be used right now. And so expand the Supreme Court. It can be expanded. The number, this is not fixed forever. Rules are created. Rules can be recreated, John. And that's what we're going to have to do to really, I believe, help to save democracy in this country.
Really fast, just because we're talking about reform of the Supreme Court there. I don't know if you've seen Representative Hank Johnson, as well as a few others, have their bill to reform the Supreme Court. What they want to do is change it so that you basically have an 18-year term, and every presidential term, the president gets 2 appointments to the Supreme Court. But it does keep the same number of SCOTUS justices. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's better than nothing. I would need to see a little more of it, but I'm glad that members of Congress are putting things out there to move us in that direction. The Supreme Court, as it is, cannot stand. It puts every single thing in peril in this country, and we're seeing that time and time again.
Yeah, 100%.
What are your thoughts on that, John? What are your thoughts?
I think if I could just snap my fingers and make that the system, that's the system that I would want. It's the system I've wanted for some time. It's similar to there was a great analysis of a couple different plans for Supreme Court reform that John Oliver covered on his show several years ago. But the idea that it would the idea that you serve until you die, which obviously incentivizes choosing the youngest justices possible, that's crazy. The fact that one president could get 0 appointments and one could get 3 or more, that's crazy. And it has resulted in the last couple of presidencies of these huge conflicts over whether you even get to have a vote or not. And there's no reason to believe that that's not going to continue. It should be a regular thing. You win the presidency, you get 2. I'm not saying that that's the best possible system, but I think that is such a massive improvement over what we have right now. And it seems so reasonable that there's no chance whatsoever it's going to happen.
Well, at the time that the framers, when the Constitution was written, lifetime appointment, and people weren't living as long as we are living today. That's something to think about as well. Yeah. But yes, something is certainly better than what we have right now. That is for sure.
Well, the good thing though is that while as you pointed out, for a long time, we were living longer and longer. Life expectancy is now dropping following the pandemic. So maybe this problem will sort itself out. Yeah,
maybe, Ugh. John. But we don't want. You saying just let Mother Nature handle this?
By the way, though, if we can return to the candidates, so Mike Pence weighed in saying, "I have every confidence that the next Republican president, whoever that may be, will stand for the right to life. It is imperative that Republicans and conservatives resolve here and now that we will not shrink from the fight." He's describing Marjorie Greene there, basically shrinking from the fight, pretending they don't want to fight on that. I love, by the way, that he doesn't even mention Trump. Like Trump, he served with Trump for 4 years. He doesn't want to be president again. But I have no doubt that the next candidate will be calling for a national ban, whether it's Trump, whether it's DeSantis, or whoever it may be. I think they will be calling for that. And so, like, Marjorie Greene is trying to be slick, trying to be savvy right now and being undercut every step of the way. And it's hilarious. But this is going to be an ongoing problem for them because they're caught between a rock and a crazy place. They don't want to talk openly about their views on abortion because they know how unpopular their views are. And yet they desperately need to placate their base, which isn't enough to win national elections on, because those people are out of their GD mind. And so going forward, like, how long can they hide it for? They're going to spend every primary season talking about how pro-life they are, and then every general election talking about how they won't do anything. That can't stand, I don't think.
No, it won't. And Taylor Greene is just being exposed for the fool that she is. When it comes to Pence, I mean, I think I might not name the president I served with if he was okay with me being lynched. Okay, let's just go and put that out there. So good for Pence finally standing up a little bit, I guess. And when it comes to right to life, I mean, what the hell, John, does that really mean when you don't care whether or not the children who are birthed into this world have food to eat, have shelter, whether or not their parents, real workers and nurses, whether their parents are making a living wage, have paid sick time off, all of the things that make for a high quality life. So the GOP is not a pro-life party. They are a pro-birth, suffer until you die party. That's all they are. And this fixation, this with just controlling women's bodies, because this is what this comes down to, John. It is control, total control, and this is total lunacy being displayed by the GOP right now in the 21st century. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is the leader of the band.
No, she's the vanguard. It's only going to get crazier from here. Everyone buckle up.